What does it all mean? The Devon-Lavon match is not as significant as you'd think, and it's not as important as everyone says. Hello, children. King of the Table 4. Everybody's pretty much analyzed it to death. So, of course I have to as well. Because nothing revives a dead horse quite like beating it incessantly. So, the two matches I was most interested in, Barbosa and Marcio Barbosa and Irakli Irakli, keep on hooking Irakli. I didn't actually get to see that footage. I watched the Arm Wrestling News rebroadcast of it, and I heard other people talk about it, and it sounds like, and people who, the Muddy River Boys watched it, and they gave me a play-by-play. And what they said was, Irakli's hand was just boom, you know, just freaking iron. And Marcio, who's an elbow fouling machine anyways, was really elbow fouling. Lachlan Adair commented he thought Irakli was just like lifting Marcio's elbow up. So, you know, I would have expected, I expected that the first match. I also expected Marcio not to try to keep out top rolling the top rolling machine every single match, which sounds like what he did. So I was surprised Irakli won as decisively as he did. Of course, Marcio did get hurt, but had you told me Marcio's going to top roll Irakli every single round, then I would have said, well, Marcio's going to be in trouble. Corey West and Alex Kurdecha. That kind of surprised me some. That actually made my respect for Corey go up. Again, you got to vaccinate yourself against top rollers, man. If the guy on the other side of the table is patient zero for the top roll virus, you do not want to try to out top roll him. And Corey looks like he tried and he tried, and he would get here, and of course I wasn't there and I couldn't tell, but it looked like Corey was like fighting for quite a while with his hand down and under with big Alex Kurdecha bashing on that arm. I mean, I knew Corey was strong, and I knew Corey shouldn't try to out top roll him, but he did. That's just a tough way. Corey should have protected his hand a little bit. He should have gotten the Pfizer top roll vaccine and 2 boosters, and then taken Paxlovid, and I think he would have been fine. But what am I trying to do here? But Devon and Lavon, that was not what I was expecting. I'm not surprised Lavon won. Devon winning would have been a bigger accomplishment than Lavon winning, obviously. But what impressed me was long before the match was when Larry Wheels posted the video. I think it's titled, "Nobody Can Beat Lavon, Prove Me Wrong," or "Lavon is Unbeatable, Prove Me Wrong," or "Lavon is, I don't know, the second coming of Jesus, prove me wrong." And that was, and in that match they showed Lavon pulling Larry Wheels, and Larry Wheels has 2 green bands and 2 purple bands on him. So, just as a point of reference, at the Muddy River Boys, if we put a purple band and a green band on Christina Stalcasto, she can beat pretty much every Eddie Muddy. She can beat Eddie Vedder. No, she can beat pretty much every Muddy River Boy with a green and a purple. for Larry to have 2 greens and 2 purples, that is some pretty biblical stuff, man. I mean, that's true Revelations level arm wrestling power. So Larry strapped it up like you do. This is how you use the bands if you're trading women at your house. So Lavon's hand would be here. Now, Lavon didn't put the bands in his hand, he put it on his wrist. When we do it, the Muddy River boys, we make the boys hold the green and the purple band in their palm. But still, so Lavon has this on their hands, and he was fighting Larry. And I'm 225, 230 pounds. And with 2 greens and a purple, I can generate 124 pounds. So, for reference, Larry weighs more than I do, so I wouldn't be surprised if Larry's number here is higher than mine. Also, I don't think Larry's hook is as strong as mine, but there is a match out there that after pulling from that great big Australian tournament, Larry Wheels pulls Ryan Bowen in a hook, and he's beating Ryan pretty consistently. Ryan's probably in the 100-pound range on his side pressure, which means Larry's there or probably 10%-ish higher. So that means, let's say Larry's doing 110, 120 pounds of side pressure against Ryan. Now obviously he could apply more pressure against a stronger opponent, because you can only apply what your opponent holds. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, all that stuff. Well, this is just that Isaac Newton was a genius. Anyways, so let's put Larry in the 110 to 120 pound range. The bands, throw another 120 on it. 240 pounds on Lavon. That's nuts. For reference, my absolute number one best number with a wrist wrench is in the 150 pound range. If I dropped it down to my wrist, I'd probably pick up 6 or 7%. So 10 more pounds, 160 pounds. That Lavon was putting out some numbers on that video. That's worth seeing. Now, what does it all mean? The Devon-Lavon match is not as significant as you'd think, and it's not as important as everyone says. I myself have lived, there's always some immortal superstar arm wrestler nobody's ever going to beat. I think I've lived through 3. Before Vovoda, the Dennis and Pushkar years, you know, before that, John was killing everybody. Before that, Cleve Dean was killing. There's always somebody who's unfreaking touchable, right? Until somebody comes up and touches him. Semarenko, oh, that was another guy who was gonna, when he burst onto the scene. We thought he was going to be Chain Blue Lightning for a while. I knew his name started with an S, and I've been trying to think of it since yesterday. So, just remember, Devon had trouble with Michael Todd their first couple of times. And then he came back, shut that hand completely down, no trouble at all. So, Lavon was devastating in that match. Do I think he's untouchable for the next 4 years? No. Do I have any idea who's going to touch him? No. But when somebody does, then everybody's going to stop remembering how he was, you know, sent here to signify the end of the world. Thanks, kids. Love you.